Welcome to the Urban Wine Club podcast. Pour a glass, sit back, and enjoy the show.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Urban Wine Club podcast. We know it's been a little while, but we are back in virtual form. Usually Foti and I are together, and we're usually visiting a guest. But today we are doing this over the internet, as most things are these days. How you doing?
Yes, I'm doing great, Ari. It's been a while since we've been apart from each other, if I can say that. But
Sad. It's sad. It's sad. I don't care what else coronavirus has done. This is the saddest part.
I know, man. But we'll make the best of it, right? I mean, thanks to technology, it's as if you were here anyways.
Yeah, we could see each other, we could hear each other, and and we're still doing the podcast. We know it's been a little while, but obviously things are going on and people have stuff to attend to. But we're not going to let
life goes on
out. And this is actually the first time we're doing it virtually, so hopefully everything goes smoothly. So bear with us out there. And the next podcast we'll probably get back to interviewing our interesting and fun guests.
Correct.
Cool. So today, Foti, what are we going to talk about?
Well, basically how life has changed, and I think that not only has it changed, but I think we're looking to live a little differently moving forward. Whenever this situation is put behind us, that moving forward, I think we're adjusting, whether we like it or not, to a different way of living. Socially, for the most part, is where we want to touch and discuss here in our segment, that being confined to our home quarters, or maybe to some of us even our work quarters, depending on what you're doing in life.
Well, it's pretty safe.
It's really
you're going to be stuck in one of those two places. It's like if you still are going to work, then where you'll be. Otherwise, you're home. I mean, there's not really that much more we could be doing right now.
No, and I think folks are getting pretty creative on how they utilize their time outside of, there's people who work remotely from home. For those of us that have children, we're either homeschooling, we're babysitting, we're finding activities for the kids to pass time. We're doing everything under one roof in such a in a confined time as well, where you're trying to squeeze in whether those of us are working, get work done, do the errands, the chores, do things for the kids.
I mean, it's safe to say that, we're adapting, and, there's obviously a lot of difficulty because nobody's ever actually really experienced this before.
No.
So we're discovering new problems, new things. But my way, I don't know about you guys, but my way of coping is a good old glass of wine.
To start.
To start.
Yes, definitely.
The first glass to start, the second glass to kind of get going, the third glass to get things moving.
Right.
And so forth.
And I have to say that, we interact with a lot of folks. We get a lot of emails that come in, messages and so forth. But I'm finding out more and more often, we're having conversation just without even thinking about it with someone, whether it's over the phone or whether it's Skype, Zoom, what have you, and we're sipping on something. So now I'm like, wow, I guess this is kind of like the new thing now, where we're kind of enjoying each other's time with, whether it's a glass of wine, whether it's a cocktail, whether it's a beer, while trying to socialize and keep ourselves in touch with each other.
Well, you mentioned that, and from what I see online, I'm seeing a lot of virtual social hours, a lot of virtual happy hours, people kind of scheduling to get on, with their friends and have a glass of wine together to kind of keep that whole vibe going.
Yes, and we're getting quite a bit of requests from just folks who are, still want to keep that team spirit together, and they're doing these co-work gatherings virtually on Zoom, and they're all doing like their cocktail happy hour together to kind of keep the spirits up and kind of keep people connected. And
Yeah.
it's becoming like not more than just a trend. I think it's becoming just
The norm.
the norm. Like, we're adapting to this, and it's like, wow. I'm like, I don't know. I think I kind of forgot what it's like to go out again. If that sounds strange, but I don't know. This is we're entering like new waters, I should say, where I think it's also kind of cool. Some folks are kind of like nervous and like, oh, this is not the way it should be. But there's always I try to look at the positive out of everything. That we have. Thankfully, we have the ability through technology to still stay connected socially. And
Well, think about
thanks to
if we had this whole pandemic in like the '90s, we kind of would all be stuck at home, but we wouldn't even be able
I
to
don't even want to
communicate with
think
each other.
about that. I don't even know. I want to know what that's like.
Yeah,
But I guess when the times that you're given, you try to make the best of it. So in our times right now, we're making the best of it. We still, thankfully, we still have access to, whether it's online shopping, because, now there's plenty of retail shops that you can order wine online, either it gets delivered to you or shipped to you. A lot of shops are doing curbside pickup, which is cool. And
Speaking of
so on.
Urban Wine Club, you could shop there. Cork Stop, you could do curbside pickup. Just putting in a little plug there.
Yeah, definitely. And we're expanding our options for our members, that it's not just, signing up for subscriptions or admission to our events. Obviously now we're exploring and enhancing an experience where now we're going to have our own virtual wine shop where people can actually shop for wine online.
Yeah.
And
The cool thing is we were already planning on doing that. Now we just kind of, made it a higher priority considering, the times that
the
we're in.
times. Yeah, and I think that, the way we have things laid out, the user experience can be just as great as walking to an actual, brick and mortar wine shop, and trying to kind of explore the aisles to find, great gems or, new exciting arrivals.
My
So
next,
that's
my
going to
next,
be
uh, my next project is to build a virtual Foti that will talk and walk with our online customers and help them pick stuff out. That's
40,
coming. Not yet, but coming soon.
40 AI.
Foti AI.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, but think about that, how cool it would be for any of us, to actually have that kind of service where, you know, the times that we live in, there's so much to explore that imagine having it, broken down for you to the point where, you can minimize the guessing, you can minimize the time, and really get right to it with like exciting options.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, we have it, and we're building, and we're making it better. We're making it cooler for the user. So check it out whenever you have a chance. And so
And
back
a
to what
lot.
we were saying, we're now virtually communicating. People are virtually coming together. Actually, another plan of ours coming soon is 40 would hold, as most of you probably know, really, really cool, really, really fun, informative, social seminars, wine seminars. And now
Exactly.
we're going to kind of convert that into webinars. So,
That's something that I think would really, really, really be cool and exciting for all of our listeners.
no, it absolutely will, because the webinar is going to be set up in a way that it's almost exactly how the seminars were, except you're not physically in the room, but you still see everybody. You
Yep.
still see Foti as the leader of the seminar. And you could still ask questions. You could still interact. You could still do everything you were doing before, except in a virtual space.
Exactly. So it's like being there but not being there.
Exactly. So that's coming soon. We're planning it all out. We're planning it all out. A lot of things are changed, but as all people do, we adapt and we try to make it like cool.
Definitely. And I think that we have the resources, we have the technology, we have the expertise, we've got a great network, we got great team members. There's a lot of people that are on our team that are super excited about getting on this and getting on board. We just want to make sure that we bring as many people to this platform who can get a lot out of it. It's not just the social aspect for us. We really drive and want to also implement the educational, the experience. We're all about building a community, but at the same token, we want people to get more out of it as well. So I think we are providing quite a bit to bring folks together that can really like learn beyond than just whether it's reading reviews online, whether it's maybe going to a wine tasting where, wine tastings were around for a while. And I think that dynamic's going to change moving forward, where you just mentioned, Ari, that, virtual sessions where folks can actually pick up the wines that are going to be hosted at the webinar or some of these virtual social or happy hours. And you could be, in the comfort of your home or your office, or maybe you're at a friend's house and you're gathering together and you can really, be part of the experience.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like, is this exactly what people want to be doing? No. Is this where trends were going anyway? Yes. Are we, kind of forced into it ahead of time a little bit? Yeah. But you know what? This is what people are doing nowadays. This is how we're doing it nowadays. And even when things
Right.
get back to normal, I still think this is kind of gonna be like a new standard,
I
honestly.
think so too. And I think that, as you mentioned, like this could also be, maybe appropriate or maybe a good time when the weather is bad. It's winter time. You can't get out there. You can't go to the place that you want. But maybe you've dabbled into this virtual world of, social hours or, happy hours that this could be the norm when it's like not the time to go out.
Exactly.
There's so many different reasons outside of this afterwards where, yeah, it's great. Obviously, we're humans and, we're designed to be out there and we want to go out and interact, but
Yeah.
there'll be moments where you can't. And that's okay. And, you can still have a great time at home or someone else's house with these new approaches.
Look, I'll always like to get, face to face and hang out and, act like an idiot like I normally do when we're out. But, this is so convenient and so like easy. Like I travel a lot and like I feel like I never really need to miss anything because I could just hop online and, jump in
Yeah,
a webinar or jump in on a social hour and still be there.
exactly. That's the beauty of it. And, a lot of folks are a little kind of hesitant. Like, I interact with a lot of people still on a daily basis. And there are folks that are like, oh, what's this Zoom? Everyone's Zooming for school, Zooming for work, Zooming for hanging out. But, once they get a taste of it, it's like they can't leave it alone. Like everyone's like now trying to put on like Zoom sessions. Like it's spreading like wildfire.
Once I showed my sisters how to do virtual backgrounds, it was all over. Now all they want to do is like Zoom and change their backgrounds into all sorts of crazy things.
Well,
But yeah, I mean,
and I think,
you're right. It's like every single new technology is met with hesitation, and that's just human nature. But you know what? We're doing it. Everybody's going to be doing it eventually. Jump in, have a
embrace
and
it.
don't stress about it. Don't think about what's going on outside. Have a glass of wine. Jump in on one of our webinars. Jump in on a social hour that you find. Actually, we should do social hours too. I mean, we're two, kind of fun and interesting guys. Why not? Let's let's do some social hours.
Yeah,
But just
definitely.
find your groove and just jump in and don't worry about it and don't stress about it.
Exactly. So yeah, definitely look out for those.
Yeah. So in the works, our online shop is there. Subscriptions are there. Webinars for wine seminars is coming. Virtual wine tastings, like all that stuff. Like we're just trying to keep the new normal.
Correct. We're just trying to keep us together in all ways possible.
Exactly.
Great, great. So yeah, so
I mean, I'm glad to hear all this stuff, especially, I'm glad to be able to communicate with you now that right now I'm out of state, but,
right,
again, nobody knows that because technology.
correct. I still feel like you're right here.
Yeah, you can almost touch me. Reach
I'll
out.
drink to that.
What are you drinking, by the way?
Yeah. So it was a little bit on the warmer side today, and just that like touch of like heat
Yeah.
made me want to have white wine. I don't know. I think it
Huh.
was just psychological. It's in the low 60s today here in Boston, and sunny. So it's still kind of brisk out, but for some reason, it just made me want to have white wine. So I opened up a bottle of French Sauvignon Blanc because for
Cool.
me, Sauvignon Blancs from France are very, very pleasant. I have a liking to the Loire Valley, so I'm drinking a light, crisp Sauvignon Blanc, refreshing, crisp, citrusy, great sipping wine when we're just chatting, you know. And I think I'm almost done with the bottle. But
So
what about
I
yourself? What are you drinking?
so I recently went. So long story short, Foti was sending me a box of wine and it got lost.
Wow,
He
that's so
really sent it because
strange.
I saw the receipt and everything. So it's not Foti, but it got lost somewhere in Connecticut. So I never received my wine. So I ventured out. I went to like this it's like a shop, kind of like a high end like organic like blah 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 shop, but they have wines which I love. So
Nice.
a lot of their wines are like, really like expensive, high end. But once in a while they,
So Ari, hold that thought. Just let us. What is your definition of high end? Like, what are some of the price points or
oh,
price ranges?
so now you're gonna embarrass me. So high end,
Well,
high end for me
I'm,
was like
I'm
anything
thinking
that
like
was like
$100
above
a
fifty
bottle.
dollars
How
and into
much?
the low 20s. I'm like, yeah, that's a little bit pricey. But I'm buying a lot of wine because I'm like drinking wine every day, so I don't want to like
Right.
break the bank on this stuff, especially since I never got my shipment.
Oh
So,
man.
but they do have a lot of organic wines. They do have a lot of like nice, I'm not the expert, but a lot of nice looking wines, a lot of like varieties. But
Okay.
they had a special on a Pinot Noir. It
Nice.
was $9.99.
Okay.
Got a couple of bottles of that.
What was it from?
Oh gosh, let me look here.
California or France?
Romania. Is that good or bad?
Where did you say? Where was it from?
Romania.
Romania?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Well, actually, Romania has been known for grape production. They farm a lot of grapes and they sell a lot of grapes to, believe it or not, to different parts of the European wine markets. So yeah, Romania does make wine. Unfortunately, we don't have much of it here, but the fact that you actually got some, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, this is probably the first time I think I've ever had that, and I actually didn't even know until you asked me, and I looked on the label. But it's a Pinot Noir from Romania. It's not the best Pinot Noir I ever had, and it's not the worst. It's definitely drinkable. I'm enjoying it. I had this is like my second. I had I I want to say
Well,
I had almost a full bottle yesterday, minus like a glass. I think my wife had, and
okay.
today I'm like I probably have like maybe two glasses left in this bottle. I'm not gonna make any promises, but I doubt it's gonna make it through the night tonight. But
Nice.
it's a decent Pinot Noir, not too bad.
Which goes to show you, there are great finds out there. You just mentioned, you were in a, really cool shop that had probably a very interesting selection of wines.
Yeah.
It sounds like they curate their selections. It's not just bulk wine or mainstream wines just being dumped
And
there.
actually, it's a market, a grocery store, but the wine section actually had a wine guy like walking around helping you,
There you go.
which was
And for the fact that you found it for $9.99 coming all the way from Romania, that's like that goes to show there's a lot of great value out there. It's just a lot of these gems are just hidden where unfortunately it just takes a matter of just popping into an unexpected place that you find these or you discover these great selections.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean,
Cool.
that's what it was, and again, I hate being like a cheapo and saying like and normally I
No,
don't,
you
but
shouldn't think like that.
now, because I'm buying so much wine, I'm really looking at price, obviously,
Yeah,
and
I think all of us think the same way. I mean, if we're, making wine consumption a part of our lives, whether it's, dinner or having a sipping session, it adds up. It doesn't matter where you come from, what your background is, wine can add up. So, finding value is the way to go. And
yeah.
occasionally, if you want to treat yourself, sure, why not? But in the meantime, there's plenty of great options that fall into that $9.99 to $14.99 range that you can find great wines.
Yeah, and again, don't hold it against me when I say high end for me is like above the $15 mark.
That's fine. Actually, we're gonna make that the new norm, thanks to you.
All right, man.
Awesome.
It was good
Well,
to talk to
this is
you.
great. I'm
And
very excited. I look forward to continuing this new life as far as getting out there virtually. We want all of our listening audience to to tune in and follow us on all of our platforms. And we'll be releasing schedules coming soon for our webinars. Definitely gonna throw in, like as you mentioned, our happy hours. We definitely want people to join us. I think it's gonna be fun, exciting.
yeah, man,
It's
because
definitely the time to do this.
picture like right now I'm sitting in my little office, right? And you're in wherever you are.
I'm in my
So,
den.
think about having a couple glass of wine and then popping into a room with like
Yeah,
6, 8, 10, 15 faces where you could actually speak to and like get a little buzz going, get a little drunk, get a little like crazy, and just have good conversation. Like it's fun. Why not?
definitely. Exactly. So, definitely, stay tuned. We really will make it fun and interesting for all of us.
All right, everybody, thank you so much for listening. Again, check out our wine shop where you could buy wine. You could subscribe to our wine club where we choose wines based on your taste. Uh, Wait for our schedule with the seminars and social hours and anything else we're going to throw at you. Just stay tuned. Thank you so
Absolutely.
much.
Thank you. Take care.
All right, bye bye.